What's up, you guys? It's Luke here, and today we're going to go over the 10 mistakes that rich and successful people never make, according to, well, rich and successful people. If it's the first time you're watching my videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and also click the notifications bell. All right, let's go. There's no reason to learn the lesson the hard way if you don't have to. There's no reason why you can't learn from those people that are already rich and successful and have already done it. So let's take a look at the top 10 mistakes that the rich never make. Not showing up is probably the number one reason most people fail, and it's very common and a very easy mistake to make, and we've all done it. Showing up again and again requires faith and persistence and a discipline that I'm not sure everybody has, and it requires a lot of work and a lot of time to do it. You'll never conquer what you don't move towards. If you don't make any moves, you'll become stagnant, unmotivated. Ultimately, you just spiral downward and be one of those disgruntled people. We all know disgruntled persons, and failing to show up will turn you into a disgruntled person. The second mistake the rich never make is slacking off. It's so tempting to be lazy nowadays. With YouTube, please watch YouTube and like my videos, but Netflix, all the other things on TV, all the sporting events, there's so many distractions. I was raised by parents that told me I could do whatever I wanted to do and be whoever I wanted to be as long as I worked hard for it. Now, genetics wasn't on my side to be a football player or somebody like that, a bodybuilder. However, working hard has paid off multiple ways throughout my entire career and my entire life, whether it be investing or my professional life. I'm told sometimes I work too hard, but that's exactly what it takes. I get up every morning at 4 a.m. I don't waste time on social media or watching TV, and the payoff has been huge in terms of what I've been able to accomplish, both professionally and personally, and honestly with my family as well. Now we got everybody doing it, and it's just amazing what you can do and how much more successful you can be if you dedicate that time to it. Those that criticize seem to have problems that I just don't have and other successful people just don't have. And I don't think that's a coincidence at all. There's no such thing as luck. You make your own luck, right? Luck is where opportunity meets preparation. If you're not preparing, when that opportunity comes, you're not going to be ready and you won't be able to take advantage of it. The third mistake the rich never make is having a negative attitude. When I hire somebody for my business or I go to partner with somebody on an investment, one of the main things I look at is, do they have a positive attitude? I used to think I could change somebody with a bad attitude. Hey, the guy's smart, he's well connected, whatever it was. However, I've since learned to just move on because that negative person just ends up dragging me down in the end. And even if we make money on the investment or we do well in the business, it just leaves me with a negative taste in my mouth, and I don't want to deal with it anymore. Even if we made a bunch of money, it just wasn't worth the time and the effort that you put into that person personally and having to deal with all that negativity. It only takes one negative person and a group of 10 happy people to bring the whole team down. We've all experienced that before. The negative person comes into the group and immediately everybody's complaining or upset. You can't really describe it, you can just feel it. And I actually think this is backed by science, so comment down below if you actually know the answer to that, but I do believe there's science behind it. Even during tough times, you're able to bounce back if you have a positive attitude. You can accomplish anything, even digging yourself out from the bottom, from that trough on the way up if you have a positive attitude. The fourth mistake that the rich almost never make is waiting too long to make a decision. If you require total certainty to make that decision, you're going to miss opportunities, or you just don't want to make the decision in the first place. It's also called analysis paralysis, is another word used out there a lot. You're too busy analyzing and too busy trying to get every piece of data that you could ever get for any problem, and that's impossible. To me personally, I just think you don't want to make the decision. The weight of the decision is too much for you, and you're hoping for an answer that says, yes, this is right, this is 100% the way to go. We would all be rich if it was super easy and the opportunities out there that said, pick me, I'll make you rich, were right in front of you and all the data was right in front of you and all you had to do was say yes. It's like having the answers to the test, but you never have the answers to the test. That's not the way real life works. Often, your ability to make decisions in the absence of information can be your ultimate value proposition. That's where you bring value, is to make that decision when nobody else can. Now, the fifth mistake that the rich almost never make is not smiling. I admit it's cheesy and it kind of ties in with having a positive attitude, not a negative attitude, but the power of the smile is extremely underrated. A warm, genuine smile instantly creates trust, which is the cornerstone of virtually every transaction you do in life, whether it's just a friendly handshake or it's an investment deal or some other interaction that you have in your life. Not only does it add positive energy to your expression, but it also makes you seem approachable. People want to do business with people they like, and connecting with a smile is the most effective way to do that. It makes people feel comfortable. And don't fake it, guys. Either you're authentic or you're not. And the more authentic you are, the more it will make an impact. Studies have also found that smiling makes you happier, healthier, and more creative. And best of all, it's free. The sixth mistake the rich almost never make is focusing on too many things at once. Full disclosure up front, I'm guilty of this one a ton. I always want to do more and I'm always looking to do more, and I end up packing my schedule too much. I take on too many projects, too many investments, looking at too many investments, and I don't focus on doing certain things really, really well. Pick one thing you're passionate about and do it better than everyone else. Too many people have brilliant ideas, but never start any of them, and they definitely never finish them. Don't be that guy. If you're not a lawyer, don't pretend to be one. If you're not a doctor, don't pretend to be one. Stay in your lane and delegate all those tasks to the experienced professionals, and you focus on the things that you're a professional at. And if you're not a professional, get out there and get the knowledge to be a professional. I've read about too many companies where the company had a great idea, they implemented it, it was rolling, and they were on to the next great idea before they fully implemented the good idea they had in the first place, and the business actually ended up failing and they couldn't figure out why, because they didn't stay focused on what got them there in the first place and what made them money. The seventh mistake the rich never make is not scheduling out their day. As an investor and having a full-time professional job, I stick to one rule. I schedule and organize each and every single thing I commit to for every single day. It sounds like a no-brainer, but most people fail to do this. If you can get into the rhythm of writing down everything you need to accomplish in a day, putting it all in the schedule, and then going through them and taking care of them as they come up on that schedule, you'll be amazed at how much you can accomplish in a day. Get up every morning at 4 a.m. and every single hour from there till the end of the day is basically scheduled out for me, so I know exactly what I need to accomplish and when, and then I can adjust accordingly. If I get done with something early, I can move something up, and if I happen to get behind on something or something else pops up, I can readjust accordingly because the day is planned out and I can just redo that plan for that day. It takes discipline, it takes time. I don't know a single successful person that does not have their days scheduled out. The eighth mistake the rich never make is to blindly emulate the most successful people. Now, when there are potential solutions for a problem, it's easy to pick the one that worked for someone else. But here's the hard truth, guys. It doesn't matter if it worked for someone else. What matters is whether it's going to work for you. The best leaders don't blindly emulate the most successful people around them. Sure, you do a lot of those same things and you take on a lot of their great habits and you do those things, but you take them and you adapt them to your work and your life and what you're doing in that moment. I hate to tell you, but wearing a black turtleneck every day won't turn you into Steve Jobs. It actually looks quite ridiculous. However, can't argue with the results of the man. Rich and successful people look at the components of those that are successful, and then they take those successful components and they apply them to their own circumstance. The ninth mistake that the rich never make is blaming others. If you want to achieve your goals, take responsibility for everything in your life. Sometimes you just have to accept the reality of a situation, but you made decisions that led up to that moment. Grant Cardone, whether you like him, don't like him, gives a great example of being rear-ended and still accepting the blame for it. Not legally, but personally. Basically saying, I chose when I left my house, I chose how fast I drove, I chose which lane to drive in, etc., etc. And the result of all that was this accident. It's so freeing to be able to own up to everything, and it makes it very easy to make adjustments necessary to truly succeeding at anything. If you blame everyone else, then you will repeat the mistake yourself, and you're going to make the mistake again and again. What is the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. You're doing the same thing, but yet you're blaming others for the result of what's going on. If you finally take ownership of your circumstances, you will find a way because it's up to you. And you can't blame anybody else, it's all on you. The final mistake the rich never make is not leaping into the unknown. You either skydive or you don't. Building a company, a personal brand, a career demands an all-in mentality for what you're doing. You gotta step outside your comfort zone and don't be afraid to fight an opponent above your weight class. Let me give you an example just to kind of help illustrate that. Apply for the position you really want. Even though it requires tons of experience and it seems like it has a bunch of unattainable qualifications, go ahead and apply for that. What's the worst that can happen? You get told you don't have the job? Great. You're right where you were if you didn't ask at all, so you didn't lose anything. You only had something to gain. And even if you get the job and find out you're over your head, it doesn't mean you can't dive in and learn. If you're not doing the things above, you're going to learn and you're going to get better every single step of the way. It's going to require work, but you can get there and you'd be in a much better spot 6 months from now than you are right now, especially if you just sat in your cubicle and did nothing. You want to be like everybody else in all the cubicles next to you because they were too afraid to ask and jump out there and go for it and fail, so therefore you're in the cubicle with those mates, or you're going to break out. Remember, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Well, that's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button. If you're new to my channel or you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe down below. Also click that notifications bell so that way YouTube will tell you whenever I have a new video up. And please comment down below about what you think rich and successful people do in order to be successful and what you do personally to have success. I'd love to read those and try to implement some of those in my life. So thanks for your time, guys, and until the next video,